The 19th of October. The night. It is impossible to describe the horrifying scenes I have witnessed. Death and misery, in every shape of terror, rule this place. I can no longer recall how I have come to this place. All I remember is the opaque, milky fumes of opium and the murky den hazing a sweet, welcoming abyss. I awoke to dreadful screams in this endless night, at the feet of an old tree that leaked foul-smelling fluids. I know not how to reach those poor souls, nor do I want to. Keeping a record is all I can do to make sense of it. The 20th of October, Vigo. I discovered a hidden laboratory while running away from a monster. Its stocks are uncommonly plentiful. I observed shelves of alkaloids, crates of silver syringes, piles of protective clothes and a journal signed Vigo. Its pages are filled with notes on an ancient force that controls the nature of this place, that shapes it. I also noted a few drawings of the growing cankers I've seen on trees. The 21st of October. The Blight. I have been obsessively deciphering Vigo's journal. His work is elegant but erratic, drawing obscure conclusions from disjointed fields. Most entries mention a powerful force, the entity, which undergoes a purge that occurs once a year. During this period, the entity is infested with blight. According to Vigo, cankers bloom into pustulas, a type of flower that spurts putrid nectar. The thick fluid I saw oozing from the trees. The last pages of the journal mention a serum distilled from the nectar, but the pages detailing its effects and preparation were torn out. The 20th of October. Wounded. I'm hiding in a dense strip of forest. I'm desperate to erase the distressful images engraved in my mind. Last night, a disfigured man barged into the laboratory with a gruesome, mechanical mouth and shred the walls into splinters. I barely escaped with my life, and wounded my arm in the process. I have no options left. These monsters find me no matter where I go. All I have is a journal filled with obscure promises of escape. I will return to the laboratory. The 23rd of October. Experiment. I'm close to death. I can feel it. When I returned to the laboratory, I started experimenting with the putrid nectar and distilled it into a foul serum. But I made a terrible mistake. I injected the serum into a dead rodent, whose pupils dilated, and its body shook. I tried to restrain it, but the creature bit into my arm, ripping my wound. I stopped the bleeding, but I fear the damage is done. The 24th of October. Experiment 2. I awoke to a terrible cry booming from the cellar and a violent bout of nausea. Through the vile ordeal, I started to recollect what had happened. Tainted with the foul serum, my wound had swollen with lymph, at which my assailant returned. Most of her fight was a blur, but I can recall red tears trickling down his gruesome cheeks as I clawed at his face. And some moment later when I kicked him, sending him crashing into a brick wall. The power I felt then. There are no words for it. I now know that there is truth to Vigo's methods. Another cry. My assailant, now chained in the cellar, must be getting restless. This is just the beginning. The 25th of October. The peak. I foreseen his escape, given the potent dosage I administered him, but I needed to see results. Pustula flowers are now blooming on the path leading to the laboratory. According to Vigo's journal, this rapid spread is a sign that the blight is at its peak. Soon, there will be no more putrid nectar to extract. The 26th of October. Exhausted. I slept very little. The acute throbbing in my wound sent me on a restless, agitated drowse. I have no strength left to be patient, and my distress fosters brutal methods. There are no lines I will not cross. The 27th of October. Restless. I limited my rest to only a few minutes here and there. I cannot afford wasting time. Pustulas, once lush with nectar, were withering away at the roots of cankerous trees. I could only extract droplets from a few frail flowers. I'm running out of time. The 28th of October. At last. Based on Vigo's calculations, tonight is my last chance. I filled a syringe with the last drops of serum and injected it into my arm. The 29th of October. The end. I did everything right and failed. I am stuck in this infernal place with no serum and nowhere to hide. The 30th of October. Vigo 2. I looked for Vigo. I shouted his name with no concern for the monsters lurking about. I need to find him. I picture the scene, etching a canvas of wild lines in my mind, focusing on the moon, and I know something is off. I fed the dead rodent under my pillow. The 31st of October. Pray. Soon, very soon, I will be at peace. The cold claws of death are drawing near. It's here. The entity is here. It has found me.